Okay, today is one of those days I can see the network is not friendly at all, as in at all is not friendly. Um, we've had to restart this session how many times now? I think this is the third restart. Okay, well, let's see. Hopefully, this is the last restart. We will not have to restart this session again. The network behaves now. It behaves now. So, yeah, we're back. This once again is Growth Habits with Ngozi, and I am truly your personal guide on the journey of growth. Well, yes, I take you by the hand and I lead you on this journey. I lead you and I also go with you. I don't just lead you and, in front while you're behind. No, we go together because we learn together and we grow together. Welcome once again. If you're joining me for the first time, yes, this is Growth Habits with Ngozi every Tuesday, 12 noon, right here on Facebook. But if you are a regular, well, thank you. If you're a regular person that's been joining, you know that we are here every Tuesday. And I welcome you also. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be here for us to continue our discussion on ethics. We started this last week, Tuesday, and we talked just a general definition of what ethics is. And we agreed that ethics is just your way of behaving, your way of living, the decisions you make concerning how you behave, the justifications for your behavior, for your actions, for your judgments. It talks about being right, things that are right or wrong, morally right or wrong. And it also talks about what is just and unjust. That is what ethics. And we said that there are some basic principles that cuts across every aspect of ethics, whether you're talking about personal ethics, business ethics, workplace ethics, whatever ethics you're talking about, you will find out that the principles of integrity, respect of persons, personal accountability, fairness, responsibility, they are intertwined into it. You will find them there, along with one or two other principles that make each area different. Thank you, Chizzy, for joining me today. Thank you so much. So today we are going to jump right into personal ethics. The network has taken up quite a bit of our time today. I don't understand why the network is misbehaving, but no, we are here. So we're going to talk about personal ethics today. And personal ethics basically talks about how you identify, how you behave towards people, towards situations in your life, your everyday life. It has to do with the decisions you have taken on how you behave, on what you believe. It has to do with those decisions you have taken. It has to do with, it influences actually every aspect of your life, the ethics, the moral decisions that you have taken. And sometimes we find that our personal ethics differ from our professional ethics. And when it does, we now have to find that middle ground. And it mostly depends on how strongly we hold our personal ethics. For some people, some things that are their personal ethics, they don't hold this so strong, so they can bend on them. But we are generally expected to hold on to our personal ethics no matter what. Those moral decisions we have made concerning our lives, concerning how we behave, concerning what we do, concerning how we act, we're expected to hold on to them. And if there is a conflict between our professional ethics and our personal ethics, it's assumed and is expected that our personal ethics should overshadow our business ethics. But and we're also supposed to bring to bear onto our business, onto our work, our personal ethics. Okay, so it's important that you do have personal ethics for a couple of reasons. Because one, when you have personal ethics, it makes you actually more effective in whatever you are doing, because you have decided that this is how I will act. This is how I will react. This is how I will behave in such and such situation. So it makes you more effective in doing your work, because the time you would have spent in maybe deciding, in trying to know, should I or shouldn't I, that time is saved already, because you already have your ethics, already decided how you would react in such and such a situation. And another thing that makes it important for us to have our own personal ethics before we go into the business world, before we go into the work world, before we go into any other stores, when they know that we have ethics, when they know that we have a set of beliefs that guide us, that guide what we do, that guide how we react, that guide how we perform, and all those things. It helps people to trust us. It instills trust in people. Okay. All right. So it instills trust when you have personal ethics. I think we had a blimp just a second there. I hope we are still on. Okay. I was talking about some of the benefits of having personal ethics in addition to the professional or business or workplace ethics that we develop. And also we know that when we have personal ethics, we have already somehow decided how we are going to react in situations. So when we are confronted with some situations, we don't have to think too much, because our ethics have already guided us on how to act. I don't know if that makes sense. For example, I've already decided that I cannot steal. So when a situation presents itself, I've already, accepted that one of my personal ethics is integrity. So I cannot do anything that will, mess with my integrity. When a situation presents itself that could possibly paint me black in any way, because one of the ethics I have imbibed is integrity, the decision is simple. I don't even have to think twice. I already know that this decision, I will not be taking it. This action, I will not do it. But if you have not imbibed a set of personal ethics, when you come to those crossroads, should I, shouldn't I? Can I, can't I? So that's when you begin to have confusions. That's when you begin to, should I or shouldn't I? But as long as you have decided from the beginning, these are the set of principles that my life will run on. Whatever comes, you already know. So it makes your decision making quite easy. Truly, it's easy, simple, straightforward. Okay. And of course, you already have a standard of behavior, and that is just it. So what are some of these personal ethics that we can imbibe? Like I said, some of the things we talked about last week, you will hear me repeat them, but now they're dealing with you as a person. Okay, so number one, honesty. Now, most people believe that honesty is a very, very, very important ethic to hold. It's a very, very important thing. But even as we believe that, how many of us truly practice it? How many of us truly, in all our actions, in all our behaviors, honesty can be seen in it? Do we choose when to be honest, or are we always honest? So if you have imbibed honesty as a personal ethic that you hold on to, it means that in all situations you're honest. In all situations you're honest. Even when maybe there might be some loss involved, you're still honest. I've had encounters where I had the choice to tell the truth or not. Not even, it's not even bad. I don't even know whether to call it now bad situations. It wasn't like life or death, but I would suffer some loss by telling the truth. clearly. It wasn't even, I knew that by telling the truth in this situation, I might suffer some loss. But because I have already accepted that in my dealings in life, honesty is a principle I hold on to. It's something that forms part of me. It's something I should be known for. Because I have accepted this, I told the truth. And yes, initially there was a backlash. Initially, I suffered loss because something that should have come to me did not initially. And I was tempted to, doubt that decision. For a second, I was like, because maybe you should have painted the truth just a little. You know how we tell ourselves, tell the little white lie, because it doesn't really matter. Everybody understands. I was tempted to say, you should have told the little white lie in this situation, because see, now you've lost out on this. You should have gotten such and so, but you did not, because you told the truth. And like I said, I was tempted for a second, but I reminded myself that this is me. This is no longer something I just say. This is just me. I tell the truth. I am honest. Several times, like in office situations where attendance, yes, let me use that one because that was one of the easiest, simplest ways. Attendance. People don't like to come to work after me because they know I am going to write the time I came. Even if that time means I came a little late, I'm going to write the exact time. So the situation I was telling us about, I was supposed to call one of our contacts in an office where I worked. I was supposed to call him and fix an appointment for my MD with him, and I forgot. Truly, I forgot. And my MD now called me. Did you fix this appointment? I could have quickly said yes and then maybe sent a message to the person and fixed the appointment. But I've accepted that for me, honesty is it. I have to be honest in my dealings. So I told him, sorry, sir, I did not. Of course, he railed, he shouted, he said a lot of things, And as he was saying all those things in my mind, I was thinking, maybe you should have told him yes, but you haven't heard back from the person. And you quickly, send off a text message or something to the person and await his response. But I didn't. I told the truth right away. And I told him, sorry, sir, I forgot. I have not fixed this appointment. Now, at that moment, I suffered some loss because he was angry. He was upset. He said a lot of things, he called me incompetent, what have you. Yes. But ultimately, in the end, later on, not even this particular situation, I did not see the good in it immediately. Let me just be very honest. He did not apologize for anything because I didn't set up the appointment. I did not. But that is the truth of the matter. Yes, I still set up the appointment later. I did. And the appointment held later, but nothing in that particular situation showed the good that was supposed to come out, as I said, from that situation. So for a long time, I kept on thinking, maybe I should have just told him, yes, sir, and, fix the appointment. But later on, in other dealings, when there was another situation where I don't even know where this discussion took place. I was not there. He had a discussion with one of our clients. Let me call them that. Oh, welcome, Divine Idowu, Amechi, John, welcome. I'm glad that you joined me this afternoon. So later on, when he had a discussion, I think they went for dinner or something. I really don't know where it happened, but he had a discussion with one of our clients. And the client said to him, the client said to him, one, you are so lucky to have this person. One, she follows up this, and then he concluded by telling him, do you know one thing about this, your staff? She is honest. She tells the truth. Even when telling the truth looks like at that moment you will lose something. Now, I can't even remember any interaction I had with this particular client, to be honest. I can't remember any interaction I had directly with him that would give him this impression. But obviously, in my dealings generally with his office, he saw it and it was clear. So now I've gotten the good from being honest. So when we take up some things as our personal ethics, as our moral compass, we have to stick with it. So the first one I mentioned is honesty. Honesty. Tell the truth. The benefit will show up later. You might not see it immediately, but you will see it later. The second principle of personal ethics is loyalty. Loyalty. When you say this person is my friend, stick with your friends. Stick with your family. Stick with those people that are yours. Be loyal. In your office, be loyal. It doesn't even... Look, I've worked in offices where I was owed 5-6 months of salary. But every morning I would go to work. And people would tell me, Ngozi, what is wrong with you? Why are you bothering? They are not paying you. They don't appreciate you. Probably they don't. But the decision to be loyal is mine. The principle of loyalty, I have imbibed it. I want when people hear my name, these things pop up in their head. Just like the conversation that client had with my MD. Like I said, I was not there. He didn't have to say anything good about me. There was no need. The ogas, what is the need of talking about me? There was really no need. But because somehow my name came up in the discussion and he has known me for such and such, directly or indirectly, he could make that recommendation. So loyalty. Be loyal to people. First of all, be trustworthy so that people can trust you. And then when they've trusted you, when they're on your side, be loyal to them. It doesn't really matter the situation. I've given the example of I was not paid salary, but because my principle or one principle I've decided to fashion my life after is loyalty. I remained loyal to that office, though they were owing me salaries. I went to work as and when due. I did not, begin to not go to work or go late or close early. None of those things. See, when you make up your mind and you take up these ethics for yourself, you have to be willing to stand for them, even when it's not comfortable. Even when it's not comfortable. It wasn't comfortable for me to be going to the office. With which money? I had to fuel my car to get to the office. No salary. But I kept on going. See, honestly, when you're doing some of these things, they don't always feel good. Let me tell us the truth. They don't always feel good at the moment. But sometime in the future, you will see the benefits of it. When you begin to reap the fruit, when they are looking for someone that is trustworthy, when they are looking for someone that is loyal, when they are looking for someone that is honest, in a situation where you're not even there, your name will be called. They will remember you. So loyalty. Loyalty. Another principle of personal ethics, of course, is integrity. So integrity is different from honesty. Honesty is just to tell the truth. Integrity is not just telling the truth, but being reliable, being responsible, holding yourself accountable. All these are what encompasses integrity. So take up integrity as a principle of life. Welcome, VPs. Glad to have you here this afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Take it up. And I have to say this again because sometimes we think it's easy to take up these principles of ethics. Many a times we don't see the rewards instantly. Many a times we don't. But hold on to them. You will see the rewards ultimately. There are things they want to do in some, let me say, for example, in our association, there are some things they will want to do. They will remember. They will remember. I've gone to places that I felt I have not had any direct interaction with these people. Good afternoon, welcome. I've not had any direct interaction with these people. But when they hear my name, they'll be like, oh, it's because that name already has some things attached. They know that one, I will tell the truth. They know that two, I am a person of integrity. They know that I am loyal. I didn't have to say anything. But because these are the principles I have chosen to live my life by, and I have maintained it. So integrity. Like I said, integrity has to do with being reliable. It's not just telling the truth. It has to do with being reliable. It has to do with being responsible. It has to do with holding yourself accountable for your actions. Don't pass the buck. See, this holding ourselves accountable thing, it is something that many of us do not do. We hold others accountable so easily, but we don't hold ourselves accountable. We find it easy to blame others for our own failings. So integrity is a principle of personal ethics. But remember that it encompasses reliability. When you tell people, I will do this, do it. Do it. When you say, when you have something to do, take responsibility for that action and carry it out to the end. And in fact, when you finish, give account of it. Don't wait for people to ask you. Don't wait. Go ahead and do it. Integrity. Many of us that claim we are people of integrity, we are really not. Because we think integrity is just honesty. And because you tell the truth once in a while, we think that is all there is. No. It includes being reliable. Can people say, oh, no, Zingozi, don't worry, she'll do it. Did she tell you she will do it? Don't worry, she'll do it. Can people say that about you? Can they say, oh, is it Ngozi? Oh, don't worry. Not only will she do it, she will give you an account of what she has done. Can people say that about you? Can they say that about me? Integrity. Uzo Koli, welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We are talking about personal integrity. See, we can have business integrity or ethics. We can have business ethics and operate them. We have professional ethics and we operate in it. But if we don't have personal ethics, those other ones, they don't stick. We only do them, as a show. We do them as a show. So let it start with you. This is why I felt that the first thing we should talk about is personal ethics before we begin to talk about business ethics or professional ethics or workplace ethics. Be a person of integrity. Be someone people can rely on. Be someone people see as responsible. Be someone that holds themselves accountable for their actions. Don't wait for people to hold you accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Do the needful. Do the needful. Another principle of personal ethics is respect. See, for us Africans, Nigerians, we find it easy to respect our elders, but we don't know how to respect those that are younger than us. We really don't. Even the elders these days, I don't even know if we still have that. No, this generation I'm seeing, these younger people I'm seeing, they don't even truly respect their elders anymore. As you see, as I am here now, as old as I am, Once I meet someone that's like 2 years older than me, I find it hard to call them by their name. I have to tell myself, if I have to take the person's permission to call them by their name, I find it difficult. And sometimes people don't understand it, but it's because, you're my senior. I respect my elders. And I take it a step further. I don't just respect my elders in age. I respect my elders in status. I have a friend. She was when we talked about our spiritual life, when we talked about spiritual growth, she was one of the people that came on. And I know I am her senior in age, but I believe she's my senior in things of the spirit. So when I call her Ma, she's always taken aback by it. Till tomorrow we argue over the fact that I call her Ma. She's like, you're my senior sis. So I'm like, leave it. I understand that. When I talk about age, yes, I'm your senior sis. But see, in these things of spiritual, you are my senior. And allow me, just let me give you the honor. It's in me. I don't even know. At a point, she was like, please drop the Ma. Now, because she has asked me to drop the Ma, I'm trying. I have to tell her, please bear with me. It will still jump out sometimes. It's an unconscious thing. It will still pop out of my mouth sometimes. So bear with me. We don't respect people anymore. We truly don't. Both senior, even junior. We do not respect people anymore. And this is a principle that I believe we need to go back to. Respect. And aside from respect, as per this is my senior, or this is my boss, or this person is ahead of me in this particular, thing, we also need to respect people's interests, respect people's rights. I find it troubling that we can't tolerate other people's, I don't want to say opinions, but opinions, people's rights. We don't realize that people have a right to their opinion. Even if their opinion is wrong, we're not going to the extent now of whether the opinion is right or wrong. People have a right to an opinion. Allow them to have their opinion. Allow them to have their opinion. They have a right to it. You can, if they are wrong, if they are truly wrong in that opinion that they are holding, you can there is a way to point out someone's error without making the person feel less than. Our problem is that in trying to show people their error, we make them feel less than. That is not showing respect to people. Like I said, aside from the respect of respecting your elders, respecting like your pastors, respecting your leaders, we need to respect other human beings as human beings. They are human beings. God created them too. Even those that don't believe that God created them. Oh, wonderful. Our network is wonderful today. Okay, so I was talking about respecting people. I'll try and round up quickly because the network has been wonderful, has been very, very good today. So we need to be able to respect other people's rights and interests. You can correct people, but correct them without making them feel less than. Correct them without making them feel less than. Another principle of personal ethics, I think I've indirectly talked about, is responsibility. Take responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions. Make changes where necessary. But accept when you did wrong. Accept when you are wrong. It doesn't even matter whether the person that is pointing it out is your senior or junior. Sometimes it's easy for us to take correction from our seniors, like our teachers, like our pastors, like our leaders. But when it's maybe your son, your daughter, your junior brother, your junior sister, such people. When it's such people, we do not want to take that correction, but take the correction. Take the correction. Take responsibility for your actions. When you're wrong, accept that you're wrong and then make amends. Okay, make amends. All right. I hope I'm still being heard. I want to believe that I'm still being heard. Please do let me know if I'm still being heard. All right. So, somebody might ask, how do I know that my ethics, my personal ethics, how do I identify them? See, sit down with yourself. Just sit down with yourselves and think, what are the things that are truly important to me? What are the things that truly matter to me? If you can identify them, those are your personal ethics. If you can identify that, it's important to me to respect people, it's important to me to be loyal, it's important to me to be honest, these are your ethics. If you have to write them down, write them down. Because see, until they become a part of you, until they become synonymous with you, you have not imbibed them. So we can say, I'm an honest person, I'm a person of integrity. But if in all you do and at all times these things do not show, you have not imbibed them. So you can write them down. Just take the time, find out, what are my priorities in life? What are my priorities? What are those things that this is me? What are your priorities? If you're someone, usually you put people first, put it down. Put it down. It means that one of your ethics is selflessness. One of your personal ethics is selflessness. So sit down. What are those personal priorities? Those things that when you think of you, these are the things. Write them down. And by the time you write them down, practice them. Practice them. You see, there's one thing about practicing the things we say and the things we take up as our ethics. Like I said, sometimes when you practice them, they don't seem to give the immediate rewards we expect. Forget about it. Don't even give it a second thought. Just still go ahead. Practice it the next time. In time, you will begin to see the benefits. You will see them in time. I told us the story of a discussion that happened between my boss and one of our clients when I was not there. I was not present. I don't even truly know what the discussion, how my name got into that discussion. I guess maybe they were talking about the business and all. But my name came up and the client began to tell my boss about me. Now imagine if I had not held on to some of the personal ethics I chose for myself. Let me put it that way. Imagine if I had not held on to them. Imagine if they were not synonymous with me. Imagine if they were not part and parcel of me and that discussion took place. What would have happened? The story would have been different for sure. What would have been said that day? Who knows? But I was not there. The discussion took place and good things were said. It's even my boss that came back to tell me. And all this while, truly, my boss always felt that she's just, she's wasting time because of one or two things, like the example I also gave us of he asked me to set up an appointment with someone and I forgot. And when he called, I told him I forgot. I did not begin to make excuse and say, maybe the person hasn't gotten back to me. I told him I forgot and I told him I would do it immediately and I did. So in his mind, this girl is not working until he had that discussion with that client. And he saw that it's good that I even tell him the truth. He found it by himself that it's good that because also the client told him, one thing I will tell you about this, your staff. If she tells you yes, take it. If she tells you no, take it. Her yes is yes, her no is no. Like I can't even remember my direct encounter with that client. With that, I can't remember if we had any direct encounters, but I know that I had dealings with the business, with the office, with some of his staff. So personal ethics that we take up has to become a part of us. It has to be synonymous with who we are. Joy Nwokeka, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you joined us this afternoon. Mrs. Onyem, welcome. I'm glad you joined me this afternoon. So, as I said, I gave us some examples of some of the things, the principles we can take up as our personal ethics, but it's not so much about taking them up. It's about living them out. It's about their becoming synonymous with us. By the time we talk about business ethics, and by the time we talk about workplace ethics, you will see that if you don't have strong personal ethics, you will be lost in the business. You will be lost in the workplace. Situations will come up and you will not know what to do. You will be confused at the action to take. But when your personal ethics are solid, whatever crisis comes up, you basically know what to do. And to crown it all, if you are now a child of God and you add the workings of God and the Holy Spirit, your own is settled. But you do need to have these personal ethics first. You have to understand, this is the line in the sand for me. So if I were to ask us today, for you personally, what's the line in the sand? Where is it? What's the line you will not cross in your dealings with human beings? Do we have it? Have we thought about it? What is that line that you will not cross? So that is where you find your ethics. That is where you find what your own personal ethics are. Mine cannot be yours because we're not the same. Maybe loyalty is not a big deal for me, but respect is. Maybe respect is not a big deal for me, but loyalty is. See, our personal ethics don't have to be the same. But whichever ones we imbibe, we must hold on to them, practice them, work it out. Work it out. Let it become a part of you. At the mention of your name, let those principles also join. Let people say, is it Ngozi? She is honest. She is a person of integrity. She is, very respectful. Whatever it is. But work on them. It doesn't happen by magic. You will not wake up one morning and you're a person of integrity. It takes every day deciding to be a person of integrity. It takes every day working on yourself, taking responsibility, being accountable every day, in every dealing that you have. And in time, it becomes a part of you. It becomes an integral part of who you are. And then you will see it affecting every other thing. For example, I'm an accountant, but there are some aspects of the practice of accounting that I find difficult dealing. I just do. Because they don't quite agree. This one is not even because of the code. The code of ethics of an accountant is there. But there are some practices that I just can't do. Not because they're even wrong. Some are not wrong. Some are wrong outright. Some are not wrong, but they just don't align with who I am. And I avoid them. People have talked to me severally about one particular aspect. They have told me how this is lucrative. They have told me how this is where the money is, but I can't get involved. I can't. It goes against some aspects of it, not everything. Some aspects of it just go against my personal ethics. And you see, the decision is easy. I don't miss the money that comes with it. I truly don't. People don't believe it, but I truly do not miss it. That they are building houses, that they are doing whatever with the money that comes with it. It doesn't bother me. It does not bother me. Why? Because I have imbibed my personal ethics, those ethos that I have chosen for me. I have imbibed them to an extent that they are just me. There's no difference. So as I round up this afternoon, remember that your ethics are your way of living, the way that you live your life, the decisions you have made, the principles you have taken up in living your life, the principles that guide right and wrong, your moral compass. Those are your personal ethics. And you need to sit down with yourself. See, I can't tell you what your ethics will be. I can't. You sit with yourself and you figure out what is important to me. What are my priorities in life, in my dealings, in my workings, in my being? What are my priorities? What are the line? Where do the lines in the sand lay? What is a line I would not cross? What is my no, this one, no, I can't. What are those things? You sit with yourself and you figure them out. Like I said, if you need to write them down and then practice them every day. What are those areas I cannot, no matter what, get into? What are those things that even at the threat of death, in quote, I will not do? What are those things? What are those beliefs that you hold so dear that it doesn't matter what else is happening? I stand here. I stand here. What are those things? By the time you figure these things out, you will have your set of personal ethics. And you can hold on to them and work on them. Like I said, it's not magic. It's not magic. You work on them over and over until they become a part of you, until they become synonymous with who you are. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. You can actually put it down like in a statement. You can have your personal ethics statement. You can put it down as a statement and post it somewhere, so that you see it all the time and you say it to yourself and it becomes part of you and it guides your actions and your deeds. You can truly sit down and have a personal ethics statement. Just like some companies, you can have your own for you as a person. So thank you once again for joining me. I believe I've passed across some information. I want to believe that we have learned something today in this session. I want to believe that something has been passed across to us and that we will take it up. See, that is one thing I insist on. I say it almost all the time. It's not enough that we join and that we hear. We need to begin to practice the things that we are hearing, because this journey of growth doesn't actually end. It's not something that one day, I've grown, that is it. No, you keep improving. You keep bettering your yesterday. You keep doing the needful. But if you're not practicing, it will just be where you were. But you'll be going around in circles. It's even better that you're static and you're not moving, but you just be moving around in circles and you'll be making no real progress. So Thank you once again for joining me. Next week, we'll probably look at maybe business or workplace ethics, one of those, or professional ethics. I don't know which one yet. I'll decide within the week which one to tackle next week. But thank you for joining me today. I hope we gained something. I want to believe that we gained something today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Ask the questions, either ask now or put it in the comment section later on. I will address any questions that are raised. At the end of this series, we'll have like an interactive. Okay, she said professional ethics should be next. Okay, I'll think about it. I'll think maybe I'll do professional ethics. So we will have a session like a Q&A, question and answer interactive session at the end of this series on ethics, where we can come up with our questions, maybe some personal situations. You can send it to me ahead of time if you don't want to put it up on that day so that nobody will know it's you. You can send it on ahead and I will address them and we'll look at them together. Thank you for joining me once again. I'm always so grateful to have you join me. I know you could be doing anything with this 1 hour of your day, but you choose to join me here, and I'm grateful for your time. Thank you all. Remember to join all our social media groups, the Facebook group, Growth Habits with Ngozi, YouTube, Growth Habits with Ngozi, TikTok, Growth Habits with Ngozi, Instagram, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Join all of them. Engage with the content. Don't just join and be there. That is one thing. When you join a group, a comment, make comments on the things that are posted. Be active. Be active there. Okay. Thank you once again. And I will see you next week, Tuesday, right here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember, the time is 12 noon, Tuesdays, 12 noon. Thank you and see you next week. Have an awesome day. And remember to make today count. Make today count. Be valuable in whatever it is that you're doing. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Uzo. Bye.